I love how it always shows the thumbnail. I'm like, okay, is it loading? Everyone in the comments are so cute. I'm not sure if we're live yet. Oh, yes, we are live. I can see us. Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness. I am so excited about tonight because I adore my guest hostess. She is one of the sweetest people. Again, I get to talk to her for the first time like ever met because I feel like I know her so well from Instagram and Twitter. So Colleen, it's so funny with your Instagram with the numbers. I don't want to, it's 1215. I like old books.
121213.
Okay, so she's going to tell you her Instagram handle because I don't want to mess it up.
It's I like old books 1213. Yeah.
She posts the most adorable cozy mystery photos. She's always commenting on the page, and I'm so happy I get to chat with her live tonight about our Amanda Flower Book of the Month.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so excited to see everyone's comments too. I love the positivity. I'm so happy we have first timers. I'm so honored you guys are here. We had it was a little technical difficulty. So we were just like 2 minutes behind schedule. No, don't worry about it. And I was reading your comments. So actually it was a good thing because sometimes the comments are so fast, I miss them. But I saw that there are a couple first timers and all the love and shout outs to you. I am so happy you're here and joining us. I cannot express how much it means to me. So I really hope you enjoy tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got the book, our book of the month, Farm to Trouble, Amanda Flower. There are clearly people who have very different thoughts on this. Some people loved it. Some people gave it 2 stars. So there's a lot to discuss tonight. And I myself have so many notes because my mind was just going all these different places. So hopefully we're going to have to talk about the murder mystery part in a minute because not in a minute, a little bit later after we start the discussion because spoilers, we'll get into that. But there's a lot with Shiloh. This poor thing. She comes home and the world unravels around her. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I there's a lot that I liked about this book, but I will say that I was a little.
Oh no, did I lose you?
Of everyone towards her. It was really stressful. And a lot of it felt so unfair too. And so that was a little bit tough sometimes.
I love how the dog starts barking the moment you start having the live stream. I'm going to say he agrees with you. Honestly, this little guy, I've been trying to bribe him for live streams. I officially come prepared with treats. I mentioned this beforehand. I literally bought him his own croissant from Starbucks. Maybe he'll spend his time eating the full croissant because he's a little guy. So big meal. So hopefully he'll be quiet. You just hit the nail on the head because other people were commenting about the whole community. Nobody was really welcoming to this little thing. In my notes, I talk about how the opening interaction she has is with the chief of police who pulls her over for speeding. I think that's almost indicative of the rest of the book because this is her introduction back to her hometown and just getting a speeding ticket. I mean, she's starting off on a bad note and it just keeps getting worse.
Yeah. And it really did feel so unjustified, especially as you learn more, her dad seeming so angry at her. And yet when you look at it, she's been bankrolling the farm and paying for it. And he hasn't really been doing much. I mean, I know he just was ill, but even before that, it looks like he was pretty focused on his gun collection, not the farm. And so that seemed unfair. And then her cousin being all mean to her when she seemed to be just focusing on her theater. So I don't know.
I have so many thoughts on the cousin. The cousin is going to be a full-fledged conversation because I have so many questions and thoughts about her. I was trying to pull up people's comments because clearly everybody seems to be on the same kind of train of thought. It's honestly, yeah, you say you're stressed out reading this one. Other people are commenting about the standoffishness. I mean, I'm so used to the cozy elements with the return to the hometown. Everyone usually embraces. She gets, the cozy characters, the protagonist gets reacquainted, and there's a sort of warmth that envelops them usually. And she just seemed very isolated, and the outsider element was really reinforced because everybody was so cruel to her. Yeah. The cousin, the first time she sees her, she makes a comment about her arms being flabby. What?
Yeah.
That's the first thing that you say to her about her appearance. And then you mentioned with the guns. I mean, he referenced how he did that when she was growing up too, because he said he started that hobby when her mother passed away, and she said she was 6 years old or something when the mom passed away. So he's been ignoring this daughter for way too long. And he also is very hypocritical with her. I have so many problems with her relationship with the dad. Again, this is something so different for Cozy Mysteries, because usually there's that sort of Lorelai Rory from Gilmore Girls vibe where they're super close and we love our family. And so the fact that these two were just at odds, and he almost didn't respect her. That was troubling for me some of the time. I wasn't a fan of their relationship.
Yeah, and this is kind of skipping ahead, but I really felt like at the end of the book, I was hoping for more closure family-wise, like with her cousin, as Stephanie brought up that her cousin was a hypocrite. I thought maybe that would have been addressed, or a little more closure with her dad. And I didn't really get that closure at the end, which obviously gets us ready for more books, you know, the idea that maybe they will develop in the future. But I was a little disappointed in this book not to see a little more resolution.
I mean, the thing with the money, okay. So this is a mini spoiler, I guess, with the grandmother who passed away. I have thoughts on this, so clearly I'm like trying to figure out where I'm going to start. So the grandmother leaves her a note in her old cabin, which apparently nobody decided they wanted to go into after 15 years. Yeah. Nobody wanted. I mean, I know she passed away, but nobody wanted to check to make sure that she didn't leave food in the refrigerator. I mean, nobody went in this place for 15 years. I'm not really sure about that component. She says, I left the money in the heart of the farm. And she says in the note that she's good with money. And my undergrad was at a business school, so my first thought is, why didn't you put the money in a bank so it can earn interest? How can you claim money? Wait a second. So that was the cliffhanger, that she's got to find the money. And I'm like, that would actually solve all of the problems with the debt and the farm. So I kind of wanted that a little bit resolved too. I know that's the overarching mystery right now, but I kind of wanted that to be episodic. Like, I wanted that answered in this one.
I did too. I wanted to find the money for sure. Yeah. But as people are saying, maybe there will be family growth in the next books. And yeah.
I mean, I didn't, because again, I feel as if for me, the cousin is very much tied to the murder mystery whodunit reveal. So I was trying not to say my total thoughts with this, but I really wanted the cousin to be the killer. I wanted her out of the book. I think all the clues are pointing to her. I mean, I really wanted this woman to be the killer, because to me, we needed to just get rid of her. Yeah. Victoria Hammerling. She doesn't really look forward to reading a second book if it's going to be like the same animosity. And there it is. And I would agree with that. I'm really hoping that future books, some of the, bad juju will be gone and will be a little bit more positive, so that it can be a little more. I honestly feel as if fun for me with the Crazy Mysteries, I love again, I don't really like the term escapism, but for me, that does kind of play into it, because again, I love my baking cozies because I get to live vicariously through them in a way. And I saw people mentioning the body shaming, and usually for me with Cozy Mysteries, the characters engage in I'm going to eat my pastry, and you get to enjoy the frosting and the cinnamon rolls, and you get to have some of those elements rolled into it. And again, I'm not saying she shouldn't be on a diet, but usually there's components to it where it's not so much about the inferiority complex of I need to be better, I need to be thin, but I think I didn't really care for her reasons for being on the diet. It wasn't because she wanted to be healthy. It was because she felt she had to be. That kind of made me sad. Oh no, am I frozen? What just happened? Wait, okay. I'm not sure what's going on. Colleen is frozen on my end. I hope she is not frozen on. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully she pops back on. Can you guys hear me? No, I lost her. Hopefully she'll come back on. I'm in StreamYard, so hopefully I can just re-add her to the broadcast. I hope you can at least still hear me. I was reading your comments. Hopefully, I'll just read some of the comments as she gets back in, and I have my phone in front of me, so if she's trying to message me, she can. I might actually open my email too. This way she can message me if need be. But yeah, I just wanted to say in regards to some of the comments that were popping up, where'd they go? Yeah, so other people wanted the cousin to be gone. I always feel badly wanting to jump right into the spoilers, but I really wanted the cousin to be the murderer because I also feel as if Amanda Flower totally set up the mystery. Once you started seeing the puzzle pieces come together, I totally thought all the puzzle pieces were going towards her because she was the one who wanted the father to give the guns to the play. She had access to the guns. She had access to the house with the bullets. I'm still not convinced that the guy who is the murderer had access to the house with the bullets, unless the dad just never locks his doors with small town mentality. That wasn't really explained. But I thought all the puzzle pieces were pointing to her. I also, the thing about the cousin that killed me, and the same thing with the father, was that, apparently Max agrees, was that they were so mean to Shiloh about the murder victim, Crocker, and how she wanted to go into business with him. Just business, not even sell the land, just business with him. And and the sister had already, or not the sister, the cousin had already sold her land to him. Business, sold land. And she makes comments about how Shiloh was an idiot for working with him, and she was so stupid, and all these negative things. And she's trying to keep it secret that she sold the land. I'm looking down. I don't want you guys to think I'm ignoring you, but I just wanted to see if Colleen was trying to reach in. Oh, yay, she's coming back. There we go. Hey, she's back.
My mean internet.
Oh no, you're totally fine. We mentioned this off camera, but I have had every tech issue under the sun. And so please don't apologize. I'm just happy you were able to join back in.
Sorry, everybody.
Your beautiful face is back.
Oh, so people knew who the killer was, I see.
I was just trying to say, I was just commenting about the cousin and how I didn't really care for the fact that they were making, Shiloh feel bad about working with Crocker, and she had already sold her land. Again, with that, I thought that played into her motive for killing him. But what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes, I'm seeing the more comments pop up. Oh, they're so cute. I love you guys. I saw Hazel pop up. She was adorable. I think Hazel, Huck, or I want to call him Huck, but like Huckleberry, and her Hetty, the bird lover there, they were my favorite characters.
Yes, I don't have any pets beside a fish. I've mostly owned cats all my life, but I am obsessed with pugs for some unknown reason. I love their little faces. Like, they are my favorite. So the fact that the pug was the cozy companion, I was like, and so excited every time he was mentioned. He was my favorite for sure.
I mean, he acted like a human, and I loved her characterizations with writing the dog, the mannerisms, and I love the way she said, he gave me the look that only a pug could give, and you knew what she meant.
Yeah. I totally agree. His characterization was really well done.
I mean, he felt like a fully developed character. I don't mean this to sound bad, and I'm not going to name the book, but there's a cozy mystery series, and it's 5 books, and I read all of them. And the lady, it's about cozy companions. She has a dog. She runs things that have to do with dogs. Again, I'm trying to be very vague so you don't figure out the book I'm talking about. But the dog is very much just a side element. You're just like, yeah, she owns a dog. And you don't know anything about this dog other than it exists. So I love how the dog was really integral to giving her that. He was her, not just cozy companion, he was her Watson. Because she's talks to him. The dog was her sleuthing sidekick, because usually when they go back to the hometown, you would have thought the pregnant old best friend would have been the sidekick. But that wasn't really the case that played out. It was the dog.
It totally was. Yeah, I loved that. He was adorable. And I can't wait to see like how maybe his relationship develops with that cat that they got for Hazel. So
that was Esmeralda. That was so cute. I was actually really worried. I think I was more worried about this than the murder storyline. I was more worried about if someone was going to reclaim that cat and Hazel was going to lose her. I was genuinely concerned that someone was going to say, "Oh, that's my cat. Thank you so much." And I'm walking away now to like 3 towns over and we'll never see her again. I'm really happy that Esmeralda's staying.
I agree. Okay, here's something that I wasn't exactly worried about, but first of all, actually, I have a question. Did Shiloh ever tell the chief of police about the woman she saw running away from the scene of the crime?
No. Okay. I have so many thoughts about the murder scene. Honest to goodness, what police procedure? I mean, just watching TV, you're more proficient than whatever was going on in that scene.
Right. And then they bring her to the station and interrogate her. But one of the questions was not, did you see anybody else?
And the thing is, she saw this woman and she knew that this was suspicious. And she never told anyone until nearly, 70% of the way in?
Right. What? Yeah. Okay. Everybody's agreed that no, she didn't. So that was a little strange. Yeah. That piece should have been brought in somewhere.
I mean, so I understand the immigration elements, and I totally respect that. Again, I'm earning my PhD, and one of the things with grad school is when you have international students, they talk about the visas. So I totally understand where this character is coming from, the background. I think Amanda Flower did a nice job integrating that, but I didn't really get her not saying anything. Yeah. And I felt like that was kind of a cheap mystery out in a way. I don't like phrasing it that way because I want the sleuther to figure it out. I want this to be here's my revelation. Having an eyewitness was sort of dun dun dun. Like it kind of felt like, I mean, that just gave it away.
Yeah. And then I read a lot of Agatha Christie. And so when her friend Christie said, "Oh, I'll have to look into that. It's probably nothing. I'm going to ask somebody." Me and my, Agatha Christie mind was like, "Oh gosh, I hope the pregnant friend doesn't die," because that Agatha Christie would have killed her off at that point.
It's so funny to me that Agatha Christie is the one who started the cozy mystery genre because her books are not really like modern day cozies. Those books get dark.
Yeah, and lots of people die, and so.
She'll kill the kids too. She doesn't hold back.
I was saying, I'll ask because then normally in a Christie book she would have been dead.
I think she was really cute. She was probably one of my other favorite characters. I like how she just kept eating everyone's other. She ate her cinnamon. What was it? The cinnamon roll. She's like, "Are you gonna eat that? Mine now." She orders what was it? The cherry tower for her, but she's going, "I'm gonna have half of it." I just thought it was so funny. She's eating off everyone else's plates.
Yeah, I love that. I know. It looks like everybody's agreeing that they didn't like how, with the police procedures, no one checked the fingerprints on the gun, didn't like her withholding information from the police. So, yeah.
I mean, again, with the whole, I usually love Amanda Flower books, but the one with this character that kind of drove me nuts with her was that she didn't want to seem like a suspect, and by not coming forth with the information, she seemed like a suspect.
Yeah.
The logic there was super flawed.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell him, but I'll tell him later. No.
Especially because he ran back up to her, so she really didn't have an excuse.
Yeah, right.
It would have been one thing if she just sort of was still in that state of shock, just meandering around, and someone, nobody was there to kind of like point her on track. I mean, again, I'm one of those people where I get lost in thought, and so someone has to sometimes be like, "Hey, over here," and then I kind of snap out of it. So you kind of gave her that extra moment of, "Hey, you should tell him this thing with the motivation," and she goes, "Oh no, there are people around. I don't want them to." What was it, the inner monologue? "I don't want them to think of me that way. I don't want the farm associated with scandal."
Right.
Oh yeah, that plan worked out really well.
Yeah, like it's not going to be avoided.
She made it so much worse.
Yeah.
I love how the notes, I'm trying to like flip back because there's so many things here. The poor thing. I just felt so badly for her throughout the book.
I was overwhelmed by her to-do list of all the things that she has to do to fix the farm. And that's really something I am looking forward to seeing in future books is, you know, what steps are taken and how does this develop? Because she did have a lot of detail about farms and trying to keep family farms going, and the hard work that it entails. So I'm curious to see, you know, how that goes.
I think Amanda Flower mentioned that her husband is a farmer or comes from a farming family. So I can tell that she definitely tried to integrate those details into the narrative. So,
Yes.
you know, kudos for her on doing her research. Because I live in DC. I live in the middle of the city. I don't know anything about this. Aside from what I see on, you know, TV. There was a documentary at one point that someone had recommended to me because otherwise I probably never would have come across it. But it had to do with the GMOs and how the genetically modified organisms are so bad for you. And they show the people going into the fields wearing the full-on hazmat suits to not inhale them. And so while I was when I was reading this, I was just picturing that documentary going, oh my gosh, she must go organic. She's trying to do the right thing. So I was really kind of hoping that I would see that come into fruition. So that might also be part of the overarching narrative, getting to actually see the organic and getting to see her open that cafe. Because usually for something like this, I feel as if you kind of are dropped into the setting where I just thought of Brie Baker's books where she just opened her iced tea cafe and it's already set up. So she's still in the work in progress phase. So hopefully by the end of the series, I don't know how many books she's contracted for, we'll get to see it actually be the farm that she wants it to be.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm curious about. And like some other people are saying, where is grandma's treasure? That's another thing that I want to know.
I know. I'm pretty sure Summer, she mentioned this on Instagram. This wasn't fair. This wasn't the typical cozy for me because I usually love the community component of it. And I feel as if we didn't really get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wanted that back because she didn't have really anybody in town to turn to except for her little baby boy, her little fur baby. Ruggy.
Yeah, I do. I agree. I hope that gets better, that some of the animosity is resolved so that there can be more of a community, like you said.
I just looked down at my notes. So the victim's widow, we got to talk about her for a second. I actually got the biggest kick out of her when the husband dies. She goes right on a shopping spree. Yeah. She didn't waste a moment. She goes into town to the most expensive boutique. She starts buying things. For some reason, I thought that was hysterical because she had the alibi. She wasn't a suspect. She was just enjoying her life that he was gone.
Yeah.
That was mind-boggling and really funny to me. That one got to me. The look on your face is priceless. You're like, we got to talk about her too. So I'm kind of curious what you thought about her.
Yeah, I liked her too. Especially I liked her because she ended up not standing in the way of Shiloh and of Shiloh's farm and everything. Like she was actually kind of nice to her. And then she was like, oh yeah, I'm not going to build the wind turbines. So in a strange way, it was actually one person who eased her path was the widow.
It was so funny to me because she was so harmless. And she's married to this guy who was pretty much victimizing everybody, bullying them into selling. And she's going, no, I don't want to put up the windmills. Go live your lives. Oh, don't worry about that. I tore up your contract. Don't stress about it. I mean, she was the one who alleviated all of the stressful components in everyone's lives.
Yeah.
I mean, the mystery that I was worried about was the cat. And she actually said, oh, no, I was going to bring her to a shelter. And she lets them keep the cat. She lets Esmeralda stay where she is because she's allergic. Obviously, her relationship was really flawed if your husband buys the cat and you're allergic to it. So felt badly for her with that one, too.
Yeah. That was kind of a use of that character, but it worked.
I just saw this pop up. Fairy godmother.
Yes, she was.
You gotta love the characters that are usually sort of implemented so that they relay the information. So, oh yeah, I saw this. Oh, I heard that. She was the stress reliever. She was the stress reliever. That was her character.
She totally was. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Crystal T. Knits is wondering if Shiloh will buy her cousin's farm back too, depending on how good the treasure is, which that's interesting too.
I have so many problems with that cousin. Yeah, you gotta love how my disposition just totally changed. I'm like, oh, everything about her was so frustrating to me. The hypocritical nature of selling her land but not wanting Shiloh to go into business, and then the play itself. She was kind of a diva director going on there. She was not really giving people a lot of kindness and positivity.
Yeah, no kidding. As someone who has directed plays, I did not approve of her methods. They would not have gotten the best performances out of her actors.
Honestly, again, I really wanted her to be the murderer. I mean, at this point, we should probably just say, so I really wanted her to be the killer. This way she could end up in jail. We could say goodbye to her. I almost feel like we're stuck with her now. With the family dynamics, like, please grow as a human being. But again, that's always, people obviously changing is very hard to do. So I'm kind of hoping she mellows out or is not as integral or referenced in the rest of the series. I wanted her gone. I wanted her to be the killer. I thought all the puzzle pieces pointed to her. I was even kind of thinking at one point, maybe she seduced Wes to turn it, like, to get him to do this. Like, that was actually one of the things in the back of my mind when she wasn't really buying into Wes as the killer. I'm like, oh, well, maybe because she's so beautiful, she was able to entice him like the femme fatale. No, I didn't get that.
No, we didn't. Yeah. And I agree. And that the hypocrisy, maybe that was going to lead to her being the killer. So we definitely were led on that path because she was so obnoxious. But I kind of felt like it was too much of a hope. And the actual killer was very suspicious to me too, because he just didn't seem to fit in the town. And he was so pushy with his, like, trying to date her and everything like that, What was the mayor's son's name?
Was it Baker?
Baker, yes, Baker. Yeah.
I'm gonna let her. She did one of those things that I love Amanda Flower usually. This is why I was kind of surprised. She did that thing where you had multiple characters with the same starting letter. You had Stacy, you had Shiloh, and what was it? Shannon was the wife, the widow. Yeah, so that's why I was going, wait a second, which one was he? Because the S's were kind of throwing me off for a minute. Yeah, I'm seeing other people comment. The mayor's son, the actual killer, I didn't think we really got the full puzzle pieces with him in a way, because again, I was thinking with the cousin, she had access to the gun, she had access to going to the house for the bullets, she had all these things that fell into place, whereas I'm not really sure if he had those. I mean, they didn't really get into explaining how he figured out where the bullets were. I mean, he also was just really willing to kill his own dad. I mean, that was a little startling.
Right. Yeah, and that twist I didn't see coming. Like, I did not see coming that the mayor was the intended victim. That was a surprise for me.
I mean, I get it. I like when there's twists, but that one to me, I kind of was going, didn't see that one. I'm like, I didn't see this coming. Because what was it? After a certain point, when Wes was already in jail, you're going, there's still more to read. Something's going on.
Something's going on. Yeah.
I just see, so Lady Gizmo, this was the other thing I was going to mention about him. So everyone in town is mean to Shiloh, except for the owner of Jesse's Cafe, Jesse, and the pregnant old best friend. Everyone else is rude to her, mean to her, judging her. Minnie was, I don't know what that woman was. Being like, that's a whole separate thing. Again, my face just was, I don't know, her and her honey stand, good luck. But he was actually welcoming. He's inviting her out to coffee. I mean, yes, he was a little aggressive. I didn't really see him as the romantic interest. We knew where that was going. Hello, Quinn. We knew where there's no question. You understand who the love interest is. But he was asking her out. He actually paid for the coffee. He was just really kind of welcoming to her. I mean, he didn't really seem to have any ulterior motives either. He wasn't as concerned about buying her land and working with Crocker, with her and everything.
Right.
So the one person who was nice to her was the killer.
Yeah. Well, and Wes, as somebody pointed out too, Wes was a nice friend to her, and he's in jail now too because of his sort of out of character decision to, you know, threaten Crocker, which was a little surprising too.
I mean, I also didn't like the fact that it was him, because when we met him, he talks about his wife and his sons, and I know they're fictional characters, but I felt badly for these fictional characters.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that was too bad. But it was a surprise, I guess.
Yeah, I love how people are saying he was slick. There was something. I'm not saying he was a great guy. I mean, he was just welcoming to her. He was trying to be friendly. He was trying to be nice. He definitely gave off weird vibes. I mean, he's also dressed in a full-piece business outfit when people are in jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah. Suspicious.
His little twirly mustache was needed. Yeah, he definitely was creepy. I just thought it was interesting how he was nice to her in some ways, and yet he's the killer. Wes was the friend. He gave her the information about Hetty, and he was the one who turned out to be he altered the bird report. I also never really thought about wind turbines affecting bird patterns. I learned something new with that.
Yeah, that was sad and scary to think about. And I was a little bit confused as to why Baker didn't seem to really care about the wind turbines. You know, he wants to bring the town on the map. I guess maybe he didn't think that was the path towards it. But it was just kind of interesting that wasn't something he even seemed to care about that much.
I was looking at the comments because he was wearing this suit, because he was nice. That's why you guys knew it was him. So you guys did figure it out, because some people said they didn't. Some people said they did. I'm always happy for people who figure it out. I mean, that's the fun where you're going, I called it. I didn't call it this time, and I admit that.
I said sort of, because I thought that it was him, but I did not piece together at all he was trying to kill his dad. Like that totally didn't.
Because your mind naturally goes to, oh yeah, the son's trying to kill the father. My mind does not instantly go there. I'm happy to say that. That's one of those things where I'm happy to say my mind instantly doesn't go there. I'm glad that's not where my first thought went.
Have we talked at all about how people feel about Shiloh herself? I know we've said we feel really bad for her, and that everybody was so mean to her, but it could have been while I was gone because of my internet. But have people really said if they like her or how they feel about her?
No, we haven't gotten into that. We haven't gotten into Quinn and their relationship. I mean, there's still more here. I'm trying to keep up with everybody with all the notes, but yeah, some people clearly love her and felt badly for her, the whole victim element with the town being the outsider. Other people are very much, she's the unlikable heroine. I am very curious to hear people's thoughts about this, because again, I think she brought on a lot of the trouble herself by not revealing. Again, I just start laughing because to me it's so absurd. She walks away from the crime scene, and even if you think you're going to be the suspect, and she thinks she's going to be a suspect, which is why she doesn't want to reveal stuff, and she becomes a suspect. But if you think you're going to be a suspect, don't you want to say, hey, test my hands for gunpowder residue? Hey, don't you want to take a picture of the body before you move it? I didn't really get the vibe of her wanting to protect herself and protect the farm, or taking the smart steps. I didn't really get she didn't feel like she had agency to me sometimes. I guess that's
Yeah, and Stephanie's kind of saying the same thing, that she never really stood up for herself. And she mentioned that it's maybe kind of surprising, because if she was a producer in LA, wouldn't she be more assertive? Wouldn't she have more backbone, like Menon's saying? Right.
I actually wrote that down. I went on Goodreads. I always go on Goodreads after reading it. I always try and do my research. Someone said the exact same thing as y'all. They said, for a TV producer, you have to be a leader. You have to be outspoken. I'm trying to pull the quote, but I remember writing it down. Someone on Goodreads said the exact same thing. To be a TV producer, you have to stand up for yourself, be aggressive, and maybe by leaving LA, she left that persona behind, because that did not appear in the Glen.
Right. Yeah. And it seemed like people had conflicting visions of her, because it sounds like when she was young, she was a real rule follower, goody two shoes kind of. But then, so some of them see her as that, but then they also see her as this person who deserted and who has to do things differently. And so I wasn't exactly sure where, I don't know where she fit for them too. Michelle mentioned that her body image issues were a bit much. And I noticed that too. I mean, I could see that making her relatable because, we all have those. But it made me really sad how it kept coming back, and that focus and other people focusing on her having to work really hard and not being able to eat things. And I don't know, it made me a little sad.
I agree wholeheartedly with this, with what you said, this line of discussion. But it came up from time to time too, with she mentions getting her teeth capped and the veneers. I mean, she invested a lot of money into her appearance and her well-being in this way. She also mentioned having the private trainer and doing the spin classes. I mean, she was really trying to get into shape. But I mentioned this earlier. When it came down to it, she wasn't doing it to be healthy. She was doing it because she felt she had to do it. She had to prove she could be skinnier. She had to prove she could be prettier or something. And that's why I felt as if it made me a little cringy and really sad.
Yeah.
Especially when, because this is what I do. I mean, I'm sure most people do this, but when I have a bad day, I'm going, okay, fine, like bring on the sweet treats. I indulge in my ice cream sometimes. I mean, I don't do it every night, obviously, but if something goes wrong, I'm going, okay, I'm gonna give myself a break and get my favorite Frappuccino from Starbucks, and I'm getting a venti. And the fact that she wouldn't even do that with the cinnamon roll for some reason really struck me, because she said that was the beginning of the end, and I'm going, one cinnamon roll is not going to undo everything. You're okay, right, sweetie. I wanted to be like, it's okay. You can have a cinnamon roll.
Right. And a lot of people are mentioning, maybe it's childhood insecurity coming back, being back in this world that you haven't been in, and that affecting your confidence and everything like that. And I could see that. And Paula is mentioning her guilt too. I really thought her guilt was holding her back a lot in this book, that she felt like she couldn't stand up for herself because she felt guilt that she hadn't been there for her family, even though she had, because she was giving them money this whole time. And then also the guilt about her boyfriend's death that has been like hanging. So I do think her guilt was a lot of the reason that she, she just couldn't get comfortable.
That's true too. Maybe Amanda Flower is doing psychology here, trying to be going, oh, this is how it manifested. We got to analyze, again, over analytical over here. She also referenced, I also kind of liked, again, normalizing therapy, normalizing mental health. I liked the fact that she referenced that she was in therapy for dealing with Logan's death and for dealing with her childhood issues and trauma. And I wrote down, I wasn't sure if anyone can answer this question, if she actually was going to get a new therapist now that she'd moved, or if she was going to do therapy long distance, because I wrote down about following up with therapy. But I liked the fact that she took it, she did take the initiative in the agency with this, trying to come to terms with Logan's death. And I love the fact that she said, it took a lot of time, but I know I'm not responsible. And I thought that was really great that she did therapy and she was doing the emotional work. So I just want to give that a shout out.
Yeah. And I really agree with Lady Gizmo, who just said about how Quinn waited 15 years to tell Shiloh, like, that Logan was actually happy. I mean, that's just, and it's on the last page of the book. Oh, by the way, actually, these years of misery and guilt weren't even real.
That's terrible. The first note I have in my notebook. That's the first note. That's literally exactly what that drove me crazy. I was not a fan of Quinn for the longest time. I'm still iffy on him. I mean, he's clearly a good dad. He loves his daughter, but I wrote down that he never told her that Logan was coming to get her because he loved her so much. And I have all these exclamation points and I have arrows and everything. That to me is awful. And the fact that he got drunk and said the things at the funeral, knowing that,
yeah,
he's a love interest now.
Yeah. Yeah. That seems like there's going to be some serious issues there. But she seemed just all happy and jolly about it when she found that out.
I would have been. I'm still angry. I'm not. This isn't my life, but I'm angry about this. That's the first note I wrote down because I couldn't wrap my brain around that with him going and getting drunk and making a scene and treating her so terribly, knowing that the Logan loved her so much. Oh, Quinn. I have so many mixed feelings about him. I'm curious. Did you like him? Did you want them as a couple? What were you thinking?
I mean, it was very obvious to me from the beginning that he was trying to be nice to her and that she was reading in because of him being such a jerk before. She was automatically having a knee-jerk response against him and thinking he was going to do something bad to her. But to me, it was really obvious that he was trying to be nice to her. And so I was like, okay, that's good. I'm glad that he's sort of being nice. And he did kind of stand up for her at certain times and give her good advice at certain times. So in that aspect, I was kind of liking him. But I agree that with you, and I think Shaylee said this too, that that revelation at the end, that really just put a damper on him. And, I'm imagining the relationship. And as some people are mentioning, his mother. His mother is no.
She was so mean. What was that? And the thing is, you realize it took me a minute to realize this, but she is married to the chief of police, and I'm going, yeah, they deserve each other. Yeah, go live your happily ever after together. Go enjoy. I'm loving the comments. You guys are so. I have so many thoughts about him. I don't even know which way I want to go with that. I agree with you, though. I love that he did talk to her father and address the fact that there needed to be growth and some change because, again, we kind of have been dancing around it, referencing it, but the father, the way he treated her and what he did, even though she wasn't there physically, she definitely kept that farm in her heart because she was the one who paid the back taxes. She's the one she was the backbone. Even if she can't be there physically, that doesn't mean she doesn't care. And the fact that he was there and he clearly didn't care for things the way he should have, I didn't like that. He's the one who let the farm go that way.
Right. And I mean, he clearly has been hurting and grieving. And I think, has maybe not gotten over his wife's death and it's been too much for him, but which is, fair, but it just was unfortunate that she then was put in such a negative position and treated so badly because it didn't seem fair at all.
Oh, I see the comments going back to Quinn, and I'm going, this is something that I was thinking about too. So you guys are talking about Hazel and the grandmother, and I just saw this comment pop up about, I thought when the grandmother made a comment about her breaking his heart, it was going to be revealed that she chose Logan over him and she didn't even realize it, and that never came up. I was thinking that, guys. I'm totally there with you. Again, I totally didn't call anything in this book. I thought femme fatale. I was like, it's going to be the cousin. It's going to be this. I clearly was all over the place. So, yeah. But yeah, I didn't mean to jump back and forth between the two thoughts. But yeah, the father thing just, I'm hoping that they get closer in the rest of the books. Again, I kind of agree that this book was kind of stressful for me, and it made me sad with the problems that she was encountering, the way the characters were treating her. That grandmother, she was brutal. Everybody was brutal to her. But even the farm, she has so much work ahead of her, and she's going to be putting work into this farm that her father let go completely in this town that's not really welcoming her. So I have and concerns with that.
Right. And I'm curious about who's going to help her too, because, her dad isn't well and her cousin clearly is more invested in her theater. That's her passion. So it doesn't seem like she's going to be helping, with the farm. So it'll be interesting to see who are the people, who help her with that. I hope there's somebody.
So the one with the cousin, I'm not begrudging anyone. Go live your dreams. If you want to be an actress or you want to be the theater director, go for it. But she couldn't take a photo and send a text saying this is what it looks like here, because Shiloh walked in to this farm totally blindsided. So the thing about the contract was she realizes, oh my goodness, I agreed to these terms and conditions, and clearly what I thought is wrong. So this is, again, making the contract much more difficult and improbable to hold up to. So that really bothered me, because not only did the father, again, maybe it was pride or not wanting to tell her, but the cousin didn't tell her either. Nobody told her or sent a photo saying, hey, it's more than just his back hurting him. You know, there's other problems going on here, because she just really walked into it not understanding, oh, there's weeds that reach the window.
Yeah. No communication.
I just see this. I just noticed.
Oh my gosh. And did you see Tracy D? I know, when she was mowing the lawn with the push mower, I was thinking she's never going to say that.
And again, it's not as if, so when I grew up in like a suburban town, not a country town, but we had the push mower at one time. I didn't like it. And it's for the suburban, the grass got like, what, a couple inches over. She's trying to mow down weeds and grass that's really, gotten out of hand. No wonder she was sweating like she fell into the pond, as Hazel would say. I'm surprised she made the amount of like success and progress she did.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, she's never going to finish fixing that farm if that's the tools that she's going to be.
Yeah. People are still talking about the treasure. She better find that treasure soon so she can
hire a team to come in and mow the lawn. She needs landscapers. She needs people to fix the fence. She needs a lot of help. As I'm doing the list and I'm going, oh, the fence, the barn. She should probably just hire a cleaner, because her grandmother's cabin, no one's been in there for 15 years. I mean, she needs a lot of help, a lot of sweat, tears, and TLC over there. My goodness. The riding lawnmower's there, but it was it was in the corner. There's stuff in front of it, and she knew there wasn't gas. I mean, this is going to sound bad, but couldn't she like siphon gas out of her own car to, put gas in it? I was wondering, because I didn't know how far town was. The other thing, so mentioning the town, she goes to town to warn her dad that the police are coming to question him. And as she goes to the theater, apparently the cousin and the father had already come back, and they get mad at her for leaving the farm. I wanted to know how far away the main town was from their farm. So I don't know if you know. I don't know if anyone in the comments knows, but
yeah. Well, it's kind of funny, because I have family who live in Kingsley, Michigan, which is very close to Traverse City. So I know Traverse City really well. Like, I could picture Traverse City that she mentions a little bit. And so I kind of imagined their farm as her farm. And they were about maybe like 20-ish at the most minutes away from Traverse City. So that's what I imagined in my mind, even though that might not actually be true at all. But that's like, what I pictured. It wasn't really far away, but so I don't know. But that's what I imagined.
I'm curious. I mean, because I'm also picturing one road into town. I'm going, they didn't pass each other. I don't know. I was having a hard time picturing the proximity of the farm in regards to the main town. I also, again, I love my Cabot Cove. I love Jessica Fletcher, and they had a population of 3,000 something. But again, I say something because someone was dying in every episode. Murder capital of the USA over there. But yeah, I couldn't really figure out this was new to me. Again, I'm not a farm person. I don't know these things. So I'm glad you can answer that question, because I was curious. I wasn't sure if it was like one road leading somewhere. I couldn't really picture the layout of the town.
Yeah.
Maybe that is the heart of the farm. I'm just seeing the comments pop up.
Yeah, everybody is so curious about Grandma's treasure and Grandma's cabin. Yeah, I was wondering that too. I mean, it's lucky, because it sounds like she's the only one who can handle money or take care of anything in any way. But yeah, nobody even thought about going in there.
I mean, again, I said it as a joke, but when someone passes away, you should at least go in there and get an idea. Be like, okay, did they leave a sandwich on the dresser that's going to become something? I mean, I had older grandparents, so I understand what happens. I've had the experiences of packing things up and, you know, giving things away and learning what to do with residencies. And so I didn't really get that vibe. No one went in there to check. They just left it as is. Also, where did the grandmother die? Was she in the hospital? Did she die in the cabin? Where was the grandmother when she passed away? Because if she died in the cabin, you can see the note. So I have questions about that.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Oh, interesting comment from Patty C. She caught a killer and a potential killer. The town should warm up. I was kind of thinking that too, that maybe people are going to like her now that she, you know, found a couple killers and all that. The whole cozy community element was not there with her. She did not get the welcome home. Even the elements of the town itself, I totally understand and get it, but it reminded her and was triggering for her with Logan. She saw the high school band and she just starts thinking about her fiance who passed away. And it was I totally get it, but it was a high school band. That should not lead to you having moments of that sort of depression and sadness. And again, the dog had to sort of pull her out of it. And so it made it harder to read for me because I usually, again, I love my cozies that make me laugh and they have the food puns and things like that. So it was almost like a darker cozy in that way because it didn't have the levity or the funness that you kind of expect of, oh, we have a quirky character over here, we have a quirky character over there. I mean, we did have a quirky character. We got to talk about the bird lady. Oh my goodness. But we didn't have the community giving her those little vibes. And so, yeah, I felt when you mentioned the, oh my gosh, where was the comment over here? Someone was mentioning how they should like her now. I'm hoping they do because the way it was going was really hard for her and for me as a reader. Yeah, a lot of stress, a lot of sadness. There were a couple parts when she was talking about Logan that I thought were very poignant. You know, I was a little bit like, oh my gosh, that's heartbreaking.
I think you're right. I mean, I was really sad. And when he dropped the bombshell about him loving her and wanting to go be with her, I was getting choked up.
Yeah.
And again, I wasn't really expecting that.
Sure.
Usually with her books, there is this sort of levity, and I don't think I was really prepared for the poignant moments in a way. Usually you get your discussions of how coffee smells and tastes, and we get books over there. Someone's a literature lover, the dead fiance and the dead grandmother, and then you have Quinn who has the dead wife. I mean, there was a lot of death. It was hard. I mean, death is usually. I mean, what was it, Leslie Budowitz? I got the chance to interview her once. She said she always tries to keep in mind that it is a murder and it's going to affect the community. But usually it's done, and I always say, like, cozies are like fun murders. This was not a fun murder. And then there was like other deaths on top of the murder. So it was just a lot.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of emotions were asked of us throughout the book, which some people might like and some people might not want to, experience when they read a cozy mystery.
I mean, I just saw, so I was looking down at the notes. The one fun person for me, I mean, the entire interaction was so enjoyable. I loved Hetty. I don't want to mispronounce her name. Hetty Strong, the bird watcher. Yeah. I love that lady. She was never a suspect to me. I just got the biggest kick out of her eating her peanut butter sandwich at 6:30, thinking that's her lunch. She just loved birds. She just loved her birds. Just leave her be.
And she was so matter of fact, like, unlike other people who were angry at Shiloh for potentially being the murderer, she was just kind of like, yeah, maybe you're the murderer. Okay. Like, she didn't care, really.
She was like, if he killed him, good job. She had no qualms about anything. And she just said anything. And again, I know she's a fictional person, but that line of whatever popped into her head, it came out of her mouth. I just loved her. And she shared her binoculars. She gave her the chance to see the birds, and she had her other bird watchers with her.
Yeah.
She's leading a tour and she's trying to introduce people to the birds. I just thought she was so adorable. I'm going, can she get a spinoff?
Yeah,
because I would totally read that.
That would be good, right? Because I bet she could see some things through her binoculars, you know, some murders or something like that. That would work.
I'm just saying, I thought she was hysterical. That was one of those scenes that I got to just enjoy. Like, to me, that's the cozy. Like, that's what you want. You want that quirky character who's really likable, who you just want more from. Like, when you want more from a character, you know they hit something right. And she was one of those characters. I'm like, okay, I want more. I want more scenes with you. And we didn't get any more. So she showed up at that town hall meeting. But aside from that, she didn't have any more moments.
Yeah. And a couple of people are mentioning that they liked Jessa. And she also is a character that I would have liked to see more of, too, because she was so nice and she was so good at her job and everything like that. So, yeah, she was someone I would have liked to see more of, too.
I love how everyone's on the same page with this book. Everyone loves the same characters. Everyone's having the same problems over there. Cozy crew all the way. Same wavelength. I love it.
It does seem like some people have hope for the series, like Sharon Elizabeth, like the setting, and then some are less positive. So it's interesting to see how people feel about a book and how it fits for some people and it doesn't fit for others. Let's do it, guys. The Birdwatcher Murders.
I know. I'm seeing the comments and I'm like, this is actually a really good idea. I don't know if Amanda Flower or anyone's watching this live stream. I'm like, that's actually a really good idea for a cozy mystery series.
Yeah, I wonder if there is one. Maybe there is one and we don't know it.
I mean, that's such a random sort of hobby, too. I mean, there are not a lot of people who are bird watchers, but you hit the nail on the head with the binoculars, seeing the murder. I love this. This is something. I'm going, this is an idea. I'm not kidding. This is an idea.
All I'm thinking about now is the Murder, She Wrote episode where she's at this inn and the bird watcher, well, he ends up being the murderer.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Yeah, she was the wrong time to watch birds, and she knew that. She knew her bird watching. She knew the bird watching. I also love how we both knew exactly the scene in the episode. Nobody else would have got that. Nobody else
was really cool.
I was like, nobody else in the world gets these references. But I'm like, I know exactly which episode. This is the woman who pretends to kill herself on the lake, but then she comes back and it turns out the guy who's the bird watcher kills her then. I know exactly the episode. Nobody else ever will be like, yeah, I understand that reference totally.
It's just because you're cool.
Cozy. What is it? Cool cozies or cozy readers are cool. We got to figure out a fun little way for saying that because I just love how same page with that. I can't see anyone else. I can't see anyone else being like, "Oh yeah, I know that episode."
Oh man. Okay, so Bonnie's saying she's not writing it off. She's going to read a few books. Give it more of a try. And I think that's how I feel too. Although, like some other people are mentioning, there's so many cozies to read. There's so many I want to read. It's tough. But I think I'd like to try one more to hopefully see if some of the animosity is gone. And then that'll give me an idea of, if I can continue or not.
You just reminded me when you said cozies you want to read. I'm like, well, speaking of cozies that are going to be. So next up is Death Becomes Her for next month. And then for August, we have Books Can Be Deceiving. And so I was actually trying to film a short Instagram video. I'm one of those people where I have to prepare things in advance because I know I get preoccupied. It takes me a very long time to do certain things. And so I know I have to do it way in advance. So I wanted to film a little video reading the back blurb for this. And I realized I purchased this book years ago, I'm pretty sure. I put it aside thinking, oh, I'll get to it. And then I just never got to it. So this has just been sitting there. So it says copyright 2011. There's a very good chance I've owned this book since 2012. And I just never read it.
Oh. But that's how it is. There's so many.
I'm pretty sure that it's one of those books where I think I read the blurb or something on Goodreads or someone talked about it, bought it, super excited to read it, put it in the bookcase, forgot entirely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not a dig when I say with Amanda Flower, I'm like, I probably will read the rest of the series, but if I get preoccupied, it happens. It's not just this series; it happens everywhere.
Right. Totally.
That's why I'm like, more books to read.
Yeah, I'm excited to try Nancy Coco because she is an author I haven't tried yet, but have seen good things about. And I just love the idea of the bees. That's just so cute.
What is it? The environmental theme with we had the wind, the wind
turbines in this book.
Now we have the bees who are endangered in this one. Although we also had the honey cart, who was just, Minnie was a nutter butter. I don't know what her deal was, but hopefully our honey lovers over here are much kinder.
Yes.
I also really love the cover. Everything about this is just super adorable to me. I don't know if you guys can see it. There we go.
And Caroline Paul, yes, that right there, Death Becomes Her. That's next month's book.
Yes. So this is next month. And then this one is August. I'm trying to hold it up. I feel like one of those beauty gurus who's going, I'm going to show you the brush and you can read it. And then again with the coziness. So after the live stream is archived and I can go back and see all the comments, I always convert them all to giveaway entries. We're going to have another cozy mystery. So It Takes Two to Mango. Someone's going to win the paperback copy of this book. And so again, I've had this. I got the ARC. It has officially been published. I still have it
today.
Oh, it is. Today is the book birthday.
Yeah,
I love
today's.
That. Thank you for
knowing. I read it too. It was a hoot. Oh my gosh, it was funny. The main character is a piece of work. She is hilarious. She is. Woo! She's got a big personality, and she is very. So yeah, I hope whoever wins, it's very exciting. It'll make you laugh. That will make you laugh.
You were on your game. You got the book and you read it. You got it. I put this aside thinking it was so pretty. I put it on my bookcase going, it goes in with my cozies. And I put it so it was featured. And then I walked away and that was it. So now I need to read this book too. Thankfully, at least, I read obviously I read tonight's book. But now that this book is done, I can move on to this cozy and enjoy this one. And now that you said you liked it, I have more incentive to read to actually get the reading done. Because sometimes I just put them aside like, oh, you're so pretty. I don't want anything to happen to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone, I know I do that with notebooks. I'm sure other people do that with notebooks. I'm like, your cover's so pretty. I don't want it to get creased. I kind of think that's what happened with this book, where it's just such a cute cover.
It is really cute. Angela, Lynn McAnany is asking, where do I find upcoming titles?
Upcoming titles of cozy mysteries that are going to be published?
I'm thinking maybe she's asking upcoming titles like that we're reading.
Okay, so I'm very happy with the new system that's sort of been integrated. So now we are doing kind of batches of polls, and we pick the books because it used to be month to month, and this works out great for me, great for you guys preparing your to be read lists. So now we're doing quarters, so we're going to be having 4 books chosen at a time. So right now we are in. This is their second book. So the next 2 books are obviously Death Becomes Her and Books Can Be Deceiving. As I pull up, I have an image here. I can't do the screen share. Otherwise, that'd be so easy. But yeah, I love the idea of doing them 4 at a time. And so right now I've been posting on Twitter and Instagram to get your recommendations in because I'm gathering them all. There's so much behind the scenes stuff that I don't talk about, and I should. I've been gathering all your requests and book recs for the next polls. And so I'm going to be posting those pretty soon. So then we're going to pick our September, October, November. What did I I miss one? I just missed a month. Wait, yeah. September, October, November, and December, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm going, December's the buddy read. That's why I just paused. I'm like, wait a second. So I actually need to make sure I reference that. I'm going to have to make a note. As I was saying, I'm like, oh, I need to add this to the to-do list because December's the buddy read. It's not a live stream. We'll talk about that. That's 12 days of cozies. So yeah, I'll post the next 4 polls probably in like a month because I'm going to try and gather all the other requests and make sure I organize them by theme. I do the work. I always make sure that the books are available because one time there was a book that sounded awesome, but it was, I out of print. They were no longer printing copies. And so nobody could get a paperback. It would have been really hard. And that was really sad. So I always have to make sure the books are available in different formats too. We have the audio. Again, I think she popped in here, but I was actually reached out to by, there was actually 2 people who are deaf. And so I wanted to make sure that they themselves were able, I'm going to be trying to do the transcripts with the captions once the video is archived. So I'm trying to make sure that I do all the things for you guys. So I will make sure that the next 4 books, when they're chosen, I'm gonna post about them everywhere. So I'm gonna post about that on the Twitter. Everything is at Cozy Mystery Club, and then the Instagram too. And what I've been doing is I've been making that the pinned tweet. So if you go on the Twitter, it has the image of the 4 books that we're currently reading. Hopefully the image that I'm picturing is the correct one with the months listed next to it. So I'll do the same thing for the next batch.
Awesome. And you're still taking suggestions for our next batch of books at any of those places too, Twitter or Instagram or anything.
Yes, I'm like, wherever there are cozies, send me the message, post, just let me know. I want to make sure that I get your request as I start smiling, because I'm trying to give you guys enough time to see the requests, respond to them. I really just want to make sure that you have the opportunity to participate across platforms, wherever we're talking about and celebrating cozies. So please, if you don't want to post publicly, you can feel free to message me either on Twitter, Instagram, send me an email, whatever works best for you. So if you have a book that you're going, this is a great book, I'd love to see it on a future poll, let me know. I will listen to you. This is a book club. I mean, you guys pick the books. I don't think I've actually ever. I always wait to see what you guys want to read. I don't even vote in the polls because I don't want to skew it anyway in my favor. I don't even vote. I had actually been wanting to read this book for a very long time. I had filmed a little Instagram video that I just sort of put aside because it's no longer relevant. I was saying how I would love to see this in a future book club poll. And then you guys submitted this. I'm going, okay, I don't even have to say anything. You guys just awesome. But I also, again, even in that little video, I had said I'd love to see it in a future poll. Hopefully someone will send in a request, because I wasn't going to try and put ideas in your head. I'm going to respect what you guys want. So if you have an idea, just let me know. And this one comments all the time. You guys need to follow her. She comments across platforms. She talks about cozies. I love your requests and your thoughts and comments everywhere.
Angela, I don't know if you saw, but Kim, hi Kim, I love your Instagram. She says she found a Bird Watchers mystery series. And the first book is called A Bird in the Hand by George and Molly Palmer Jones.
Okay, I don't know where this comment is, but I love it, and you're amazing, and we are going to have to look into this. There it is. Okay, I'm able to put a comment. Kim also has an amazing Instagram.
Oh my gosh, I love it. All the lovely pages is hers with dots in between all the lovely pages. It's beautiful.
She has an amazing Instagram. She is so sweet, and I love the captions too. She doesn't just have the amazing photos, because they are amazing, but she definitely talks about books, enjoys books, and I think that just totally adds to it for me, because Instagram is so easy for someone to take a great photo and just be like, have a nice day. And you're like, oh, but what was that book about? Did you like it? I need more information. So
that's why I put a warning on my my Instagram biography: thoughtful reviews and long captions. Sorry, that's me.
I mean, sometimes I do the small little captions, and that's usually just to give an update or be like, I'm still alive. I'm still trying to hang in there, dissertation life. But I love it when people talk about the books, and it's not just, I took a photo of a book. I'm not bashing. If you just want to take a photo of a book, go for it. I'll follow you. I always feel badly. Instagram, I made it so difficult. As I'm trying to compose myself, I get so frustrated. With the Cozy Mystery Instagram, I want to be able to follow the book club members, but Instagram cuts off your notifications after a certain point, and I don't get to see who's commenting on everything. I don't get to see who's posting everything. Same thing with the home feed. The way it goes now, and it's not chronological. It's so difficult. And I try to manually go in to see who's commenting and see what's going on. But I usually do it on my computer and go into the link and actually physically see. So I want to make sure that you guys know that I'm trying to pay attention, but if I don't respond or I don't follow you back, it was Instagram. Just send me a message and be like, hey, I posted a photo of Farm to Trouble and I didn't know if you saw this or not. I want to see the photo. I do. It's Instagram. As I'm trying to keep the smile on my face, I'm going, your technological affordances, why did you change them?
No, yeah, you're so supportive of everybody on Instagram and Twitter and everybody. It's so nice.
I want to be able to give the shout outs to everyone who's reading the books. I want to put you in the Instagram highlights. I want to put you in the Instagram stories. I want to reshare your photos. I'm trying to look around the mess that's going on. I posted this on Instagram and I posted it on Twitter first. But if you guys actually took a photo of Farm to Trouble, send me a message because I'll send you some of the Sleuther bookmarks. She's got it right there. I love seeing the photos of them, and I'm going, I have extras. Why are they in my office? I should just send them to people who will enjoy them. So if you took a photo of Farm to Trouble, just send me the link, say I took the photo, and I'll click on your Instagram page, and I'll share the photo, and send me your address, and you will get a bookmark.
So generous, Angela.
It's my pleasure. I am so honored that you guys participate and read the books and are taking time out of your lives to chat about cozy mysteries with me. I mean, it makes me, all the happy feelings, the heart melting. So if you are talking about cozy mysteries, I want to know, and I will make sure that if it's not already following, it will be following you soon. So just let me know. Thanks. I'm trying to look down. So was there any other thoughts, comments, queries, suggestions when it comes to this book? Any other thoughts? I know that there's a lot to talk about and unpack with this one. I just wanted to make sure. I know we kind of got off on a little tangent once I held up the books, but if there was anything else in your notes or someone else's notes.
One thing I liked was that this happened a few times where Shiloh would say, I know I just heard something important. And I kind of liked that she was giving us hints as to something that might be important. So that was kind of fun. Oh, thanks, Lady Gizmo. She says I'm a wonderful co-host. Thank you.
I love her. So I don't know. There's a whole backstory here too. I messaged, I'm pretty sure you popped up on one of the Google forums. And I'm going, do you want to be a host? Would you like to co-host? And she's going, I didn't know if you would ask me. And she was so excited. I'm going, oh my God, yes, this is great. I was so happy to make that connection. This woman is incredible. It was so funny because I'm pretty sure, what was it? The Boobies and Newbies, the podcast episode, you won that giveaway, right? And then she won the next giveaway for the different places that I was trying to celebrate cozy mysteries. So she won the giveaway for Boobies and Newbies with the podcast episode I was the guest on. And then she won the giveaway for Astoria Rice Cozy Mystery Conference. And when she saw it, I'm like, I know her. I was so happy. I'm like, oh, I get to send the giveaway prize to someone who I know and is a part of the club. And so it was so funny. I mean, it was just so great to see her name pop up. I adore this woman. If you're not following her, please do. She is welcome back to co-host anytime she wants.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, I was just the luckiest person in the world with my wins, but also because I made my Bookstagram in November. At the beginning of November, and it was just a couple weeks in that I found the Cozy Mystery Club, and I made it just in time to be able to read the November book, and then that went right into 12 Days of Cozies, which, if you're new, is just this amazing thing that Angela puts together the first 12 days of December, where we get to talk to cozy mystery writers and do reading sprints. And so that I feel like I joined just at the right time to, really enjoy all the amazing things that you do with the club. And so it's just been so much fun.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I've already started working on the next 12 Days of Cozies. I've already started working the images for the reading sprints. Again, this is in the back of my mind because I love doing the images in Canva and editing things. So I'm already trying to work on that. So if you guys have any other queries or suggestions or things for 12 Days of Cozies that you want to see, I'm already thinking about it. It's on the list. I'm really happy you enjoyed that, though. That makes me so happy to know that.
Oh, it's
Your
amazing.
introduction. I'm like, I did something right.
Oh, for sure. Yes. Oh, thanks, everybody. Thank you, Crystal T. Knits and Stephanie. Yay.
She's so sweet. She's definitely coming back. That's a no-brainer. As I'm doing the little, of course she's coming back. We have to have her back. Welcome back anytime. It's so funny too because she was so on her game as I'm trying to piece my thoughts together with this. She messaged me. I didn't have to even ask. She's like, here's the profile photo, because usually she has the emoji sort of, what is it? The cartoon? I don't know what the terminology is.
Bitmoji.
Bitmoji. Okay. I knew that there was a term. And she was like, here's my actual face. And I'm like, she sent me this. I didn't even have to ask. Like, she made my life so easy. It was so great. So again, as far as co-hosts go, she is on her game even off screen. Just want to throw that out there.
Thank you.
She was on her game. I didn't have to ask anything. She was already there.
Oh man. Oh, everybody's talking about Christmas and fall, and there is something. I mean, I have to admit that for the first time ever in my cold Midwestern life, I'm like excited about the fall and Christmas because of books. Because thinking about cozy mysteries and getting to do 12 Days of Cozies again, it really is. It's nice.
Oh, I mean, I'm so happy that you found cozy mysteries and you joined the club. I mean, for me, when it comes to cozy mysteries, I definitely love it when they're themed. So that's why when you guys make recommendations, what I do is I have a notebook that it's all cozy mystery book club. I have multiple notebooks for the book club, by the way, but one of them is just your recommendations, and I try and group them by theme. So I put all the autumn ones together because I'm gonna make that the poll for October. If you guys put something together, I was trying to put all the food ones together for November and Thanksgiving. So I was trying to group them for the specific events. So when I was taking the suggestions, I was looking at that and I was thinking about that. So in my head, it has been the fall for the last couple of weeks. And then Hallmark pushed it even further because they're doing their Christmas celebration. So I'm already over the summer. I'm like, can we just hit fast forward a little bit? A little too hot anyway right now. I want to go enjoy my scarves and my pumpkin spice. Yes, I like pumpkin spice. I'm like, you can judge all you want, but I love it. That pumpkin scone from Starbucks. Again, the body shaming with this, I would eat. No, I'm getting my scone. Throwing it out.
Yeah, I people are talking about sometimes you have to read a few more books until you enjoy the series, or don't judge it by the first. And a couple of people are mentioning that even if they didn't love the book, it was a good discussion. And I would agree. I like it when people have criticisms and things that bothered them or that they liked, and we can, hash through some of those. I think it makes it more fun, honestly. And I loved seeing everybody's, issues that they had or things that they liked or didn't like. I like that.
It's one of the funny things about a book club where the book is chosen and then you find out about it. So there's no preparation. You just know that this is a cozy mystery. I look into it in regards to the availability, but I don't read the books until they're already selected and everything else. So I never know what's going to come up or pop up. And that just makes it so interesting to me because it's already been chosen. People are already reading this and I'm going, oh, are they going to like this? What are they going to think about this? I'm always so curious when things pop up going, is anyone else going to notice this, pick this up? I'm always making my notes because I want to talk about it with you guys. I get so excited. I'm going, oh, what are they going to think? and you guys, you can validate, you can have different ideas, and I am all for it. It's so much fun.
I agree. I totally agree.
I just saw this comment, don't judge a series on the first book alone. That is so true. I'm just saying, I am agreeing with that wholeheartedly. Yeah. The 𝓕𝓻𝓸𝓾𝓫 series, I think my favorite was it was one of those like 12th or 13th or something. Like it's way later in the series. I mean, not that her first book is bad, by no means. She's an awesome writer. Not what I'm implying. I'm just saying my favorite came much later.
Sure. Right. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see who of everyone chatting here continues with this series, who doesn't, and I'll definitely want to hear, what people think as they continue.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to keep us posted. You're gonna have to say, I'm pre-ordering when it's finally available. I'm hoping Poison Pen Press will Kensington will send out, you're on their list, right? They'll send out their PDF of books that are coming out. And so you get to see kind of, again, like quarterly what's coming out. Poison Pen, like they're starting to do almost by month or every other month or something, saying, oh, here's our NetGalley widgets. So I'm really hoping as soon as this one's available, or as soon as it's popping up on their publishing list, that I can say, oh guys, it's coming out. So hopefully we'll stay with what's going on with this series. So I can then give the information to you.
Cool. Good.
Oh, so you can pre-order it. Thank you for answering that question. Thank you. She's on her game. She's on her Cozy Mystery game. And then the only other Cozy Mystery note I had, and she caught me writing this down, and you gotta love how I'm using my lettering pen because the dog was on my lap at the time. The only other note is the second Tuesdays. The second Tuesday is now Cozy Corner Chat Night. And so on July 13th, we have 3 authors, and the one who is on our Cozy Mystery game is actually one of the authors who's joining us. So Marta is one of the featured authors for Cozy Corner Chat. The other authors are 𝓕𝓵𝓻𝓨 and 𝓐𝓵𝓪𝓻𝓶. And we read 𝓐𝓵𝓻𝓶, and I love that book. So I'm really excited.
I did. Awesome. Those are so fun. If anybody, I didn't do Twitter at all until I joined the Cozy Mystery Club, and I don't really know a lot about Twitter, but if you've ever thought of trying it, the Cozy Corner chats are really fun because you get to ask real authors questions, and it's not too hard. You write the question and you tag their username and Angela's username, and then hashtag Cozy Corner Chat, and they really answer your question. So if you're nervous about it, give it a try. I didn't understand it either, but then when I tried it, it's so fun and so exciting to get to talk to authors. So
I'm makes me so happy. I'm just smiling ear to ear. I'm so happy that you're saying that. I'm really excited to make this a new component to the book club because, again, I mentioned this earlier, but I want to make sure it's accessible across platforms because I know not everyone can join us live for YouTube or participate for Instagram. So I want to make sure that people can participate however it's applicable to them. So if you can't participate in a live stream, maybe you can participate on Twitter. If you can't participate on Twitter, maybe you can join on Instagram. So I'm really happy that I can offer and create something else for the Cozy Mystery lovers. So I'm really hoping that you guys enjoy it. Oh, you guys are so cute with the comments.
Apparently you can see the cover of Put Out to Pasture already for book 2 of this series. I'll have to look at that after we're done, see what it looks like. Apparently Renee says it's cute.
One of my favorites, I just saw. Oh, Sharon, thank you for joining us. I just saw this comment about a fashionista. So Crimes of Fashion, I love that series. It's awesome. And then Killer Hair by Nancy Cohen. It's about a hairdresser, and there's a lot of talk about, styling and making things, fashionable. So just going to throw those 2 out there for you. Clearly, I've gravitated to that field too.
Good.
Just want to throw that out there. Oh my gosh, you guys are so sweet. I know I'm starting to lose my voice. So if there's anything other questions, anything else that's on your mind for the Cozy Mystery Book Club, books coming up, if there's something else, please comment now, because otherwise my voice is probably going to go out. I say this every single time, but I'm such an introvert and I talk to the dog. I relate to Shiloh on that. I do talk to my dog like he will respond. So my voice is always going, why are you talking? You're not used to talking. Why are you doing this to me? So if you have any other questions, please comment. Oh yeah, so we're going to have to go check this out. I'm going to have to post the photo and link to the book over on Twitter and maybe take a photo to share it on the Instagram stories. Ooh,
it looks like it's a Halloween book.
What is it? The Mrs. Claus. This is the Kensington series. This was our 12 Days of Cozy's buddy read this year. I love him this year. Well, technically the past, 2020. it was the Mrs. Claus series, and now the book that's set in Winter Wonderland in Santa's village is a Halloween book this time around. So we're gonna get Christmas and Halloween. I'm so intrigued by that concept.
I loved it. I read the arc on NetGalley. It was so good. I liked it better than the first one. I like the first one. I was about actually, but the second one, I loved it. I thought it did everything that a cozy mystery should do. I totally recommend it. It's Mrs. Claus and now I can't think of the title, but it's the second one in the Mrs. Claus series. It was really good.
Again, I'm gonna have to find this and put the link to this on Twitter. I love how every time I've had a reference or you've had a reference, we've both been like, yes, that one, this one. I'm talking about the book. She's like, oh, I read that. I love it. That just that makes me so happy. I love that so much. I'm explaining the premise, and she's already read the second book.
Oh, Victoria, read it. Definitely. It's really good. I know. It's just because we're so cool, Angela.
Again, it's one of those, if we actually were, again, virtual life, I'm like, if we were in the same proximity, I feel like we'd be like, bookstores, let's go. We gotta go get this. We gotta go get this.
Totally.
Like, oh, you want to have a Murder, She Wrote marathon? Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to look up the title because I just remember it's Mrs. Claus and something, and there's a spider on the cover.
Mm-hmm. I bet I can find it pretty fast, but it'll take me.
I wish I could answer your question. You guys are asking the question like I don't know the answer. I'm so sorry. I can picture the cover because 𝓐𝓶 sent it, and as I'm looking around, I have an appointment tomorrow.
There, Mrs. Claus, a Halloween homicide.
There we go. Halloween homicide. I like how you guys found it at the exact same time with Renee. That was the timing of that. As you're saying it, her comment popped up. I have the book. I was just going to say, like, I put it aside because tomorrow I have an appointment, and I figured while I'm walking to the appointment, I'm going to bring my books with me and take photos along the way. And that's one of the books I put away. So it's already in the bag, packed up, ready to go. So I know where it is, but I couldn't take it out to show you, which I always love to do. So it's somewhere over there. And I know if I move anytime right now, the dog's going to lose his mind, and I wasn't going to do that to you because when he barks, he barks. Oh, well, I hope you guys, if you read the second book, I hope you like it, and let me know what you think because I haven't read it yet. Yeah. Maybe I was going to say maybe it could be a buddy read or something. So for the Cozy Mystery Book Club, we read the first book in a series because don't want to drop you in the middle of a series with characters we're unfamiliar with. I know that it's technically supposed to be able to pick up wherever you want, but we read the first book in the series. So since this is book 2, maybe we can do a Twitter buddy read or something. So you can always figure it out if you're interested. Awesome. You guys are so sweet. I'm glad you enjoyed it. As I'm looking at the comments and losing my voice, I take books on field trips with me. I'm pretty sure every time I leave the apartment, I've got a book with me. That's just how it is. Yeah. I look for opportunities to show, like, to feature the book. Yeah. And I haven't done it in a long time because before COVID, what I used to do is if I needed to take a break from work or school or something, I would just pack up the bag and go to the cafe that I like and just sit there and take photos of books. Like that's what I would do as an event, as a get out of the house sort of thing. So yeah, books. That's awesome. I would feel like a tourist. I think one time I actually deliberately just went outside to walk up and down the street because I wanted to take photos of books. So books to Grammar Life. Well, it's again, it's so fun because at this point I'm proud of myself. I feel secure in my Bookstagram and Booktuber life because when I stop to take photos of books, most people don't understand what I'm doing, but I still do it. Yeah. When I hold up the book and I'm having the phone, there's always someone who's looking at me going, what? So it's worth it, though. If I can take photos of cozies to share with you guys, I'm happy.
Absolutely.
Thank you you guys for joining. Everyone's saying good night right now. So it doesn't look like there are any other questions. So that makes me happy that I answered all of them. So I want to give a shout out and a huge thanks to my co-hostess. If you're not already following her on Instagram and Twitter, please do. She talks about books. She loves books. And you're going to love her loving books. It's just awesome. So, and she's welcome back anytime, by the way, because I had the best time chatting with her. And the fact that you brought up the Murder, She Wrote episode made my life. Like, that was great. So I had a great time tonight. I was looking forward to this because I love her comments, and I knew that she was going to be a great co-hostess, and she lived up to the dream I had in my head. So
thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody.
I know, you guys are so sweet with all the comments. It takes me longer than I always thought because it ends up taking me days to go through the comments because you guys are so amazing with your comments. And I get to relive the awesomeness while I convert the comments to giveaway entries because I get to see, oh, someone said this, someone thought of that. Oh, I didn't see this live. I wish I did. So I get to go read your comments again, and I'm really excited to do that. You guys are just so amazing for being here and commenting and reading the books as I get emotional. Every time I get emotional, I'm just so honored you guys took time out of your days to chat about cozies with us. So thank you for being a part of the Cozy Mystery Book Club. It makes me so happy.
Best club ever.
And as I'm looking for the book, and next month, hopefully you will join us for our conversation of Death Becomes Her. So hopefully you get to join the sleuthing fun next month. Last Tuesday of the month, every month. So thank you guys for joining. I'm going to hit end broadcast and hopefully have some green tea to make the voice sound a little bit better. But I'm so happy you guys joined us. Thank you so much. And thank you to my co-hostess.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.